Hey there, and welcome to Trivia Ronin. My name is Matt McNelly, and I am your host. And whether you're joining us live on Zoom or after the fact on YouTube, or you're live on Twitch, or after the fact hanging out with me, welcome. We're happy to have you. Number one, quick breakdown of the rules. One, we are honor code here. You keep your own score. Feel free to cheat. You get nothing. If you don't want to keep your own score, you could play with us at Trivia Rat. Then I keep your score. Either way, you get nothing. Number two, after each question, you have 45 seconds to answer. Absolutely do not show your answer until the time is up. Don't be that person. And number three, if you are joining us on Twitch, enter your answer with about 5 seconds left to go. That should line up with us on our end. You're smart. You're on Twitch anyway. Let's let this glitch game begin. Tonight, there are going to be 30 questions. They're all worth a point apiece. 10 of them are visual. And then a 10-point story question at the end for a total of 40. There might be bonuses. I don't remember. Anyway, let's play Trivia Ronin. Question number one. Shepherd's pie can contain ground lamb, mutton, or beef, but it's always topped with what? 45 seconds. I will start you, Doug. Thank you. See, I love that. Game on, Marats. Marats should be able to answer. And just a reminder, we do scores at the beginning of the second round now. It's exciting. Okay, cool. So what year does... We're going to stop that. New round. New round classic. Why was there a game in the chamber? That's weird. Oh, well, that makes sense. Is there someone else who works here? 13 seconds! Shepherd's pie can contain ground lamb, mutton, or beef. But it's always topped with what? This question was going to be what's the normal ingredients, but then I looked it up, and it was like, well, it can be beef. 2-1, show them. Don't hit submit if you're on Trivia Rat. Just show them. Yep. Many people got it. Chris for half a point on sheep hair. Otherwise, mashed potatoes. Yes. Yeah, I looked that up too, and they said it's actually both cottage pie or shepherd's pie. The Wikipedia on shepherd's pie is very dumb. But I agree with that, Stephen. That makes sense. Stephen makes sense. Wikipedia doesn't. Go figure. Question two. What oxymoronic Guns N' Roses album was released in 2008 after a 10-year delay? 45 seconds. Doesn't have to be oxymoronic, but currently is. Just want to go on record with that. The new round just emerges. This is very exciting. What oxymoronic Guns N' Roses album was released in 2008 after a 10-year delay? Can't hear you, Doug. 2-1, show 'em. Yeah. Appetite for Destruction. Good guess, sweet child of mine. Chinese for Democracy. Yes, it was Chinese Democracy was the name of that album. Chinese Democracy. Currently an oxymoron. You never know. American democracy might be one soon. Am I right? Hope not. Question three. Since 1985, Dairy Queen has been handing customers what frozen treat upside down to show just how thick it is. Thick with a K, with a CK. Keep it PG in here, guys. Since 1985. Where my DQ heads at? Yeah. Is there a Dairy Queen in Los Angeles? Anybody know this? Nah, right? Hey. Oh, okay. That's annoying. Boo. Well, anyway, you can't get this in California, guys. Oh, Sethron saying he's only gotten it upside down once. Rude. Anyway, what is it? What frozen treat? Yes, it is a proprietary frozen treat. Other places call them concretes. We were looking for the Blizzard. Or Blizzard. It's a blizzard, it's called. Question 4, theater major question, obligatory. The character of Polonius of To Thine Own Self Be True fame is brutally murdered in Act 3, Scene 4 by whom? 45 seconds. Sorry, he's a character in a play. The character of Polonius, the guy who says, To Thine Own Self Be True, is brutally murdered in Act 3, Scene 4 by whom? Who killed Polonius? Emily, you got it? This is your theater major question. Okay, she thinks so. That's good. There's one every week. 2, 1, show 'em. Good guess. Many people got it. Yeah. There's a reason I didn't say the title of the play, because it's the title character. Hamlet. Hamlet the Dane did it. It is I, Hamlet the Dane. He just straight up stabbed him behind an arras. What's that? Good question. Question 5. The Big Bat, a 120-foot tall replica of the bat Babe Ruth used, is found in what U.S. city? 45 seconds. I was like looking for a bat synonym. It's not really a good one. The Big Bat, a 120-foot tall replica of the baseball bat. I guess I could say that. Not an animal. What U.S. city has the Big Bat? America. Somewhere in America, you will find the Big Bat. It's pretty big. 120 feet. Good luck swinging that one. 2, 1, show 'em. Yep. Many people guessed it. Some people got it. Cooperstown is a great guess. St. Louis is a great guess. Sometimes, though, you're the Louisville Slugger. Sometimes you're the ball. Am I right? Everyone who got it wrong, you're the fucking ball. Question 6. 2-pointer. Name the 2 U.S. states where you aren't legally allowed to pump your own gas. 45 seconds. Job creation. You get a point apiece, everybody, for this one. Point apiece. 2 U.S. states you aren't legally allowed to pump your own gas. I'm proud to say I have had to get gas in both of these states and had an awkward moment where I said, how much do you tip this guy? Or girl. Both of mine were guys. But it's a good question. I just went 20%. Which was like $2. I think I gave him 3. 2-pointer, name the 2 U.S. states where you aren't legally allowed to pump your own gas. 2, 1, show 'em. One's on the East Coast, one's on the West Coast. Good guess. Many people got, whoa, yeah, Julian got both. It is Oregon and New Jersey. Oregon and New Jersey. Or Oregon. I'm saying it wrong. Oregon, New Jersey. Take a point for either one you got. Question 7. In 1960, a watch was sent to the bottom of the Marianas Trench and returned, still keeping perfect time. What company made it? 45 seconds. Guy bought it on Canal Street. Just threw it right down there. It was not bought on Canal Street. That I know of. In 1960, a watch was... So, well before Jimmy Cameron went down there. I call him Jimmy. We go way back. A watch was sent to the bottom of the Marianas Trench. That's the deepest place in the ocean, I think. Is there a deeper place? I don't know. Question next week. What company made that watch? 3, 2, 1, show 'em. Timex, good guess. It is an X. Omega, good guess. But it was just straight up a good old-fashioned Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Not a trick question, just a boring question. My trademark boring question. Question 8. Another boring one. Just kidding. It's kind of fun. In what non-Spanish city, not even Spanish-speaking city, would you find the Spanish Steps? 45 seconds. That was a tongue twister warm-up for me. In what non-Spanish city, not even Spanish-speaking city, would you find the Spanish Steps? Sylvia. Nailed it. It's in a city that's not in a Spanish-speaking country. One would argue famously. Sorry, these are like a landmark. Yeah, thank you, Doug. Rude to ask travel questions when no one can travel, but I'm rude. 2-1, show 'em. Yeah. Good guess. Rio's a good guess. Portugal's a good guess because they don't, but a few people got it. It's in Rome. Spanish Steps are in Rome. If you saw a Roman holiday, you probably saw them in there somewhere. Question 9, but like who saw it? It's a long time ago. Question 9, what very recently deceased Hall of Fame baseball player holds the record for most All-Star selections at 25? 45 seconds. That's a pretty unbreakable record. Mainly because for part of this individual's career, they had 2 All-Star games a year. So, that's an easy way to get your numbers up. What very recently deceased Hall of Fame baseball player holds the record for most All-Star selections at 25? 20 seconds left. Two baseball questions in one round. That was rude. But this is like news. If you know the person who died last week. There you go. 2-1. Show 'em. Yes, Steven. Hammerin. Henry. Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron. Milwaukee and Atlanta's own. Hank Aaron. Don't do that, Steven. We're not allowed to do that anymore. Sorry, man. Question 10. How many Tetramino types are there in a traditional Tetris game? I'm all about tongue twisters this week, guys. 45 seconds. Sorry, that's the name for the pieces. The official Tetris-approved piece name is Tetramino. So how many types are there? This is one of my favorite types of you got. Okay, there's the long one. It should be. No, music's always an issue here. Doug has a question about this one. Is that a different shape? I mean, you're asking the question of the question. How many different types? Yes, I do. 2 seconds left. Boom. Square. There's the square. There's the line. There's the S one and the Z one. And then there's this one and this one and there's this. There's 7. I'll count them for you, but there's 7 total. 7 pieces in Tetris. And that is 1 round of trivia here at Trivia Ronin. So that's 10. You can start adding up your scores. I'm going to add up your trivia scores on the other end. I'll see y'all in 3 minutes. Get cozy, baby. See you shortly. Bye-bye. How's everybody's scores looking? Where are we at? Julian, 7. Steven, 8. 3.5 over there. Larry's at 4. Doug's at 4.5. It's anybody's game, and it's a new round from a Rats. From a Ratties. Trivia Rat. So round 2 is same as the first. It's going to be fun. By the way, if anyone wants to know the Tetramino names, and you don't, it's I, O, S, Z, J, L, and T. They all have names. Those are their official whatever, who cares. Question number 11, round 2. It's going now. Before it fell all the way down, what structure was moved to Lake Havasu, Arizona in 1971? Uh-oh. Seth Ron's never coming back. Starting now. Thank you, Doug. It's actually a good system. Doesn't feel like a good system, but it's a good system. Before it fell all the way down, and this, I've already realized I wrote this question wrong. It didn't fall all the way down, the thing I'm talking about. I added that in there because it falling is a thing. Whatever. Before it, what structure was moved brick by brick to Lake Havasu, Arizona in 1971? This is one of those things I've seen. It's weird. If you put this in Google Maps, it will take you there. 2-1, show 'em. Anybody know this? I hope somebody did. Yeah, Chris, got it. Twin Towers is fucked up and gets you a half point. But yes, Marissa got it. Okay, a few people got it. The London Bridge, everybody. London Bridge falling down, famously, in song. Didn't fall down, just got taken apart and put in Arizona. It's weird. Go look it up. Next time you can travel, it's like, I put London Bridge in Google Maps, and it will take you to Lake Havasu, Arizona. I'm not even kidding. The Tower Bridge is still in London and famous, but that's the Tower Bridge. Arizona, ruining all the fun. Question 12. If you've been defenestrated, you've been thrown out of what? 45 seconds. This is literally just a vocab question. That's funny and rude of me. Well, then here's if you're returning on Friday, freebie for Doug's. If you've been defenestrated, you've been thrown out of what? Did you phrase it like that too? You would probably had a wittier phrasing. I like my phrasing, but it is very boring. I was like, there's a better way to ask this question. Thrown out. 2-1, show 'em. Doug knew it. Yeah. A lot of people got it. The Oval Office, great guess, Chris. That's another half pointer. If only. Donald Trump famously defenestrated. Unfortunately, not defenestrated because he would have been thrown out a window. If you're defenestrated, you get thrown out a window. It's a fancy word for being thrown out a window. From like a high space, hopefully. Question 13. Tool Time, hosted by Tim Taylor and Al Borland, was the show within what 90s sitcom? 45 seconds. This one's the easy one. It's my obligatory Darcy Detroit question. Oh, really? I do remember that. I've been going through the backlog. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe it's snuck into my brain. Let's see if you wrote the next question, too. I'm just going to look it up now. Tool Time, hosted by Tim, the Toolman Taylor, and Al Borland, was the show within, thank you, what 90s sitcom? I mean, you would have. I'll find another bonus point. 2-1, show 'em. Yes, many people got it. Yes, it is that show. It is Home Improvement. Here's your bonus point. Who can do their best Wilson impression right now? First to do it. There it is, Darcy with the win. That's all you needed to do. That's all you needed to do for a Wilson impression. Darcy, 1 bonus point for Larry. Home Improvement. Question number 14. We're flying, guys. In 1940, Ida Mae Fuller received check number 000000001 from what government administration? 45 seconds. 1940. This was like an almost story that just didn't have enough juice to it. Stories just turn into questions sometimes, man. It's a bummer. Bummer for Ida Mae. In 1940, Ida Mae Fuller received check number 1 from what government administration? I declare. This is a tough question. Ida May got it. 2-1. Show 'em. It's not actually a tough question. It was pretty easy. Yeah. She turned 65 that year, so she got the first ever Social Security check. Social Security was the answer. Fun fact, she then lived to be 105. Her return on investment was something like thousands because she only paid in for like 2 years because it only started in the mid-30s. Anyway, good for her. Stick it to the man, Ida. Question 15. Dead now. If you heat copper and tin together, you make a new metal called what? Copper plus tin. While I'm doing my David Brent impressions. Play your cards right. In the hot seat. Copper and tin make another metal. Famously. Just like think of other metals. If you heat copper and tin together, stir it up. Just put it in the microwave for like 3 minutes. Don't do that, guys. 2-1, show 'em. Give you a hint, it's both a metal and a metal. Yep, Steven got it. And Julian, it is bronze. As in the bronze medal. Get it? Double entendre in it. Bronze was the answer. Question 16. North America's oldest brewery is actually Canadian. There you go. What is it? 45 seconds. The oldest brewery in North America that is still functioning. It's a still functioning brewery. It's in Canada. A brewery makes beer. Just a little help. Doug quit. I get it. This was a fun thing to learn. I was surprised by this. I thought for sure them bastard Coors brothers. Darcy's family, the evil Coors family. Just kidding, they're not evil. 2-1, show 'em. Yep. Maple Leaf Brewery is a great guess, because why not? But yeah, spelling doesn't count. Don't worry. It's Molson is how you spell it. Molson Brewery, oldest one. I believe right across the river from Detroit. Question 17. From a francophones, how do you say the phrase already seen in French? 45 seconds. How you say cucumber? There you go. She doesn't get a question, but she gets a joke. Little Baldwin. Of the Madrid Baldwins? Yeah. How do you say the phrase already seen in French? Hint, you know it. Serve this up for Julian. Easy. I was going to say, or I would give you a point for accents, but I don't think I have them, so that's fine. Yes! Yeah. Wait, I've seen this one before. Didn't I ask this question last week? Just kidding, I'm not going to do that. But déjà vu is the answer. Déjà vu. Yes. Yeah, for sure. We'll give him one for that. Question 18. Beale Street is a main thoroughfare in what southern town? 45 seconds. Sorry, it's like a city. Town was rude of me. It's a city in its own right. Also a movie. If it could talk, it would be a movie. Beale Street is a main thoroughfare in what southern town? Some would argue like the main thoroughfare. Doug, are you singing a song associated? Okay, I figured it out. It's great. Thank you. Thank God. Thank God Doug's on mute. Giveaway City. about this city. We built this city. And Doug, feel free to sing it now. Sing it for everybody. Yes, indeed. He's right. Oh, he's got it playing. Can't monetize this anymore. Not like we're making any money off this. No, that was like 3 seconds. It's fine. Memphis. Walking in, comma, Memphis. Question 19. A scrum, full term scrummage, is used to restart play in what sport? 45 seconds. Just another question I asked because I went, oh, scrummage. That's funny. Not scrimmage, scrummage. Shout out to my friend Corey Johnner. Excellent player of this sport. A scrum is used to restart play. In what sport? Full disclosure, I thought this was how the games started. It's not. I think there's just a kickoff. 2-1. Show 'em. Oh, Tara, love you. Bye. Yes. I think this is almost an all skate. Almost an all skate. Rugby. Nice work, everybody. Rugby was it. Bye, Tara. Love you dearly. Seth Ron wrote rug and an emoji B. So extra half point for Seth Ron. Question 20. Always points for emojis. According to Peanuts, what breed of dog is Snoopy? I'm like 90% sure you've asked this, Doug. I think this is the third one I've caught. Have you not asked this before? Now I just think they're all you. These things do happen. According to Peanuts, what breed of dog is Snoopy? What breed of dog? Anyone know what Woodstock is? Maybe that was the question you asked. He must, what, like a sparrow? I don't know, what? Yeah, I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Like a finch. 2-1, show 'em. Yep. Where my Darwin head's at, you are correct. It is a beagle. He's a beagle. Donna Meagle, Regal Beagle, real estate. Work it out. Friends, you did great. That's 2 rounds. Now is the time where we take 3 minutes for you to calculate the scores, and I will calculate the scores of our good friends at Trivia Rat. See you soon. Bye-bye. It's exciting. Tonight is very fun because... Oh, I know how to fix this. What am I doing? Great. Doug, say something again?
Sure.
Yeah, all right, great. I'm back. All right, so I can hear you again. This is exciting. It's a milestone night for Trivia Ronin. You're going to see what I'm talking about shortly. In our whale around, 10 questions. I'll ask them. It's visual. You guys know the drill by now. Away we go. Question number 1. This here's $1,000 bill. The question is not how much is this worth, but actually what Trivia Ronin favorite president is on the $1,000 bill. 45 seconds. Trivia Ronin favorite president. I mean, I was surprised there's a $1,000 bill. Zoom on in on it. People know this. People in trivia know this president. That's what I'll say. Don't worry, I'm just getting the headphones. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Show 'em. Oh, Doug? Oh, no. Doug, you're going to be real mad. And everyone who wrote Roosevelt because this guy looks just like him. We were looking for America's only non-consecutive two-term president, Mr. Grover Cleveland. Mr. Grover Cleveland is on the $1,000 bill. Who knew? We don't even make them anymore, so it doesn't matter. But Grover Cleveland was the answer. Don't worry, they get easier. Question 2. This is what is planned to be a 1,000-meter tall skyscraper. Currently under construction. Not really. It stopped. But it's planning to be a kilometer high. It's called the Kingdom Tower in the city of Jeddah. What country is Jeddah in? 45 seconds. And it's this isn't a Star Wars question. And it's called the Kingdom Tower. That's your hint. That's your big hint. Right now it's about, I looked it up, it's about here. It's about that tall. And then, Covey. Covey, as the song goes. Jeddah. The city where the Jedi Temple is. Just kidding, it's not. But there is a temple there, probably. Queens is a great guess. UAE is an even better guess. Yep, but a few folks got it. Saudi Arabia. Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. They're going to have the world's tallest building whenever somebody finishes this thing. Question 3, 1,000 meters tall. Boom, this man. Who is he? Who's this guy? That's easy. First, fastest hockey player to accumulate 1,000 points. Who is this hockey stud? I've got a little side Boilermaker tonight. I'm enjoying it. Enjoying it a bunch. Who is this handsome devil? This young handsome devil. Also, you can deduce his number by his sleeves, but everybody knows him. Yep. Matthew McConaughey is my favorite guess and gets you a half point. Michael Scott is another excellent guess that gets you maybe a half point when I get to grading. It's Wayne Gretzky. The great one, as they say, Wayne Gretzky. That's what he looks like. Boom. Let's see. What is my question on this one? Well, this is an album cover by the Proclaimers. The first single off this album, titled what? 45 seconds. Remember what the theme is so far? You can either write the title or the famous first lyric of the chorus of this song, which then makes it the theme. The Proclaimers. Excellent. Maybe top 5 bands from Scotland all time. I'll go there. That's these guys. Cyrus coming in just in time. Cyrus, big Proclaimers fan, I hope. What's their famous single? Quick. Most famous single by this band. 5 seconds. It's on this album. Da-da-da-da. Well, I know I'm gonna be the man. Chris with the full title, and I will give you credit. It is I'm gonna be parentheses 500 miles. But of course, in the song, they'll walk 500 miles, and then they'll walk 500 more, making it a cool 1,000 miles. So anyone who got I'm gonna be or 500 miles, boom, nailed it. Next, in Australia, they call these things hundreds and thousands. Here in America, what do we call this? These little things, 45 seconds. So way zoomed in photo. And somewhat misleading. I'll just give you a story about them to help. In Australia, for your birthday, they'll take a piece of white bread and put butter on it and then put hundreds and thousands on that bread. That's what this thing behind me. And then that's your birthday. It's called fairy bread. It's good. You'd be surprised. But hundreds and thousands here, not called that. But we do have them here in America. And ours are shaped slightly differently. That's your hint. 3, 2, 1, show them. That dog got it. They look like nerds, and that was the trick of this question. But the answer is sprinkles. These are just sprinkles. They're sprinkles. But if you Google hundreds and thousands, this is what you get. Sorry, if you Bing image search hundreds of thousands. Trying to make them a sponsor. Next. What kind of dressing is this? 45 seconds. At this point, if you don't get this one, man, hit your call button. Don't have it. Who's we? Who's this we, Kimasabi? Neither of us is a part of that we. Or Doug. Next person to walk on St. Felix is going to be Emily. Let's be honest. She's the only one with loyalty left. And I don't even think she will. You can still go to St. Felix, Emily. It's fine. I'm joking. I'll be there next week. What dressing is... Sure. Yeah. No problem. You're welcome. Yeah, Governor Newsom gave you permission, and now I will second it. Yep. Yes, this is my second Thousand Island question. Thousand Island. Nailed it. This is a famous Conan O'Brien sketch where he predicts the future. What do they call it? 45 seconds. It had a title when they said, we're going to do this thing. Andy Richter is there too, guys. That was rude of me. This is from left to right, Andy Richter and also Conan O'Brien. They did the recent thing they did, like the homage to him. It was very nice. When he would do this, yeah. He is... Mr. T was a phenomenal one as well. I would like the original name for this bit also. Which I believe it was called until the year 2010 or so, and then they upgraded it. But yes, it was called Who Wants to Sing It for an Extra Point? There it is. Steven got there first. Steven got there first and hit the highest note, so we'll give it to you, Pud. In the year 2000 is what we're looking for. In the year 2000. Who's this recording artist? More Atlanta bias in this joint. 45 seconds. Sorry, I need the stage name of this recording artist, please. Yep. Good photo. Could just stare into those eyes for a while, man. I got distracted. Got distracted by Mr. Benjamin here. 2, 1, show him. Yep. Big Boy 4000 is an excellent guess. Yes, indeed. He's Andre 3000. Yep. Andre 3000. And this is a famous computer. What's its name? Famous on-screen computer. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't give you this answer. Is it Dave? I hope so. Dean, it's Dave, right? Just give me a thumbs up. Do you know? Yeah, okay, good. All right. Had to go to film school there for a second. A famously malfunctioning computer. I mean, this is just a light behind a lens, but you know what I'm doing here. I mean, you might have, but not anymore. Because when we ask for it, You can't ask for the joke. You gotta ask for the butter. Yes, indeed. Many people got it. It is Hal, but he is the Hal 9000, guys, because we're doing thousands. He's the Hal 9000. But I'll give you a point for Hal because I'm not a monster. Want to know why everybody loves us? You want to know how many people love us? This many, baby. What are you looking at, everybody? 45 seconds to bask. No. You can applaud. Please applaud loudly, Marissa. I like to hear it in the background. 45 seconds. You can just write down how much you love Trivia Ronin. That's fine. We hit 1,000 Instagram followers. What does that mean for Doug and I? Nothing. But it's fun. Follow us on Instagram if you don't. Tell your friends. We were actually posting again. It's funny how when you actually post things, you start to grow followers. Go figure. Steven, do you have the party light on? Is that what I'm seeing? I'll take this. There is no question. Don't worry. Just write down how much you love us. It's fine. Marissa's got thoughts. Doug's my favorite. The other one's getting old. Have had to be stuck with other one. Nice Photoshop skills, says Seth Ron. Seth Ron for 2 points. Yes, indeed. 5,000 miles. Yeah. What do we have 5,000 followers on, Doug? Next? Is that our next goal? Yay. Thank you. We love you. Yeah. Everybody. Oh, we're following. But yeah. So, our, what's our clout there? It's 20%. Isn't that you want more? Whatever. Who cares? That's Instagram. That is 10 questions. The last one's a free point for everybody because we love you. Thank you so much for supporting us. Start adding up your scores. We're going to come back to story time shortly. Story's fun tonight. It's a good time. So see you then. Time, everybody. Can we see him? I don't know if I did this last time. I might have forgot. 25.5 for the Pud Man. 18 for Emily. Nice. Jasper's at 20. Julian's 17.5, started strong, and then, thank you, Doug. Doug's showing him. So 20.5 for CEO Doug, and Larry's at 18. So it is anybody's game as we go into anybody's story time. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. Here we go. Story time, guys. We ready to rock? You all look great. I think we're ready to rock. So tonight's story is about a bar because I have been called back into Her Majesty's service as of yesterday to go work in a restaurant during a pandemic for the third time this year. Exciting, great, thank you so much. Essential workers, sure. It might be essential for you to pay $17 for a Casamigo shot, and in that case, I am here to give it to you. So anyway, I was thinking about bars, and I was like, okay, let's start talking about bars. So I want to tell a story of a bar. The particular bar I'm telling a story about tonight, it's located at 51 and 53 because it owns two lots on Christopher Street in Manhattan in New York City. If you know that address, you probably know it. At the time we're talking about tonight, we're going to talk about a specific year in the life or even a night in the life. It was the year 1969. At that point, the bar had recently been bought by the Genovese crime family. I think I'm saying that right. If not... it's probably better if I don't say it right, then I don't get, nobody comes after me. Anyway, whatever it is. It's owned by a mafia who bought it. It used to be just a good old-fashioned straight nightclub. They turned it into a gay dance club. Why? Because they're super progressive? No, because they wanted to make money. Duh, this is America. So, a typical night in this bar went as follows. Let's say it's a Saturday night. You would show up. You and your friends, you go to the bouncer. If the bouncer knew you, you would get in. It cost you $3 cover to get into this bar. If the bouncer didn't know you, you didn't get in. You had to be vouched for by somebody else, or you had to be dressed gay enough that they knew you weren't a cop, because essentially undercover cops would only go so far. So if you were flamboyantly dressed enough, they knew you were safe. The bouncer would let you in for a $3 fee. You would have to sign your name in a book as you walked in, because this particular bar didn't have a liquor license. So you'd have to sign your name in a book because they were operating as a bottle club. If you guys know what that is, that's like normally a place where rich folk buy a bottle of whiskey and leave it there and then come with their friends to split it. Those are things in New York. So they would pretend to be that, but they weren't. They were a bar. You didn't have to sign your real name, though, so nobody really cared. Bunch of Daffy Ducks in there, I'm sure. Once you got in, that $3 would buy you 2 drinks, which is exciting. So $3, 2 drink tickets. You'd go to the bar. It's a great deal, except the only thing was your drink was probably served in a dirty glass if you weren't the first one in, because this bar did not have running water behind the bar. So they would dip the used glasses into a bus tub of fire hydrant water, and then put it back out and start selling things again. So those were the days, huh? Pre-COVID. So you get your drink, you'd hit the dance floor. There were 2 dance floors in this bar. There was one in the front and one in the back. If you were in what's called light drag, which means you're a gentleman in men's clothes, but you might have, say, some makeup on or have your hair done in a certain way, you would go to the back. That was normally where they wanted to keep folks in the back away from the windows if you were in drag, because drag was illegal at the time. So they would head to the back. If you were in full drag, rarely would you get in. The bouncer had to know you very well, because folks in full drag would get noticed. So only a very select few people would be let in fully in drag. Lesbians were welcome in the bar, but accounts at the time say the clientele was like 98% men, but also there would be some women, some drag kings, etc. Bunch of folks hanging out. And then basically at some point in the night, a cop would come by, would take an envelope full of cash from the bartender for a payment called gayola, wink, and then the cop would go on his merry way. And then once a month, there would be a raid. And essentially, the raids would happen. The NYPD would come in. They were usually known about beforehand by management. The NYPD would come in. Lights would come on. Everybody would stop dancing. You get lined up on the wall. All IDs would get checked. If you had an ID, they would usually let you go. If you didn't have an ID, you would be arrested. If you were in drag, you would be arrested. To verify your gender, a female police officer would escort you into a bathroom and then verify your gender, literally, visually, sometimes physically. That was how they knew you were in drag. If you were, you'd be arrested. For women, if you were in men's clothing, you had to prove you were wearing 3 articles of feminine clothing, or else also you would be arrested. So that's fun. That was a day in the life of that bar. Usually these raids would happen around 9 or 10, the same way the health department comes in. For those of you who work in the service industry, health department always comes early, or Vice usually comes early, just because then you can reopen and keep making money. So it would usually be early in the night. They would arrest the bartenders, but they would just throw them in a tank and let them out the next day. But other bartenders would come in. They would hide booze in a car down the street usually, and then take that booze out, because the cops would steal all the booze from the bar, usually for themselves. But then other booze would come in. The world keeps spinning. Let's talk about this night, though. This night is June 27th, 1969. There's a raid at this bar. Usually pretty standard, but in this case, they weren't tipped off beforehand, and the raid happened at about 1:30 in the morning, which is a little odd. On this night, so the raid happens at 1:30. The cops come in. Lights go on. Show us your IDs. People refuse. People start saying, I'm not going to show you my ID. I don't want to do this. And what is normally a routine procedure starts getting a little funky. The drag queens refuse to go into the bathrooms to have their gender verified. So the cops are getting more and more upset, and they're saying, what the hell is going on? One of the patrons starts seeing one of the police officers frisking the lesbian patrons, but actually just physically assaulting them. So things start being said there. Other folks get arrested. Anyone who gets let out, they start just staying out front to see what was going on, rather than going on their merry way. Ends up, there's about 1,000 people out in front of this particular bar as time goes on. They're singing We Shall Overcome. They're watching the police as they go on their business. The police are waiting on a paddy wagon to show up. Once it does, the crowd starts booing because the police officers take the bar staff out. They're the first ones to be put into cuffs and arrested. So the clientele in the street, they start booing. They're upset as the bartenders come out. And then a woman, a lesbian woman, identified as a typical New York butch to this day. So a lesbian woman comes out in cuffs. She's been hit in the head with a nightstick, so she's bleeding. And she looks at the crowd and says, why don't you guys do something? Right as she says that, the police officer holding her physically lifts her up and throws her like 6 feet into the back of the van. And once the crowd sees that, they just immediately go nuts and all hell breaks loose. So there are 2 vans and a cop car out front. The crowd starts shaking the cars. Somebody pulls out a switchblade and pops one of the tires. The police officers immediately turn on the cars and leave the scene, even with the flat tire. The cops that are still there retreat inside of this bar and barricade themselves in. While that happens, folks are throwing, to any cops that are outside, they start throwing coins and saying, do you need your gayola, your payment? They start throwing coins at the cops and bottles. Those police retreat. The police inside The patrons of the bar uproot a parking meter and then start using it as a battering ram to get at the police inside. They start lighting trash on fire and sticking it through the windows. The police find a fire hose on the inside and try to put out the fire, but remember, there's no running water in this bar, so doesn't do anything. They're in a bit of trouble. They're in a bit of a pickle. So we get to a point where the SWAT team shows up, or the tactical unit as they were called at the time. They form a phalanx, which is essentially just a line of people to clear out this crowd. As they form a line, the patrons of this bar form a different line. They end up putting their arms around each other, and they form a kick line to face off against the police, and they sing a song and do high kicks a la the Rockettes while the police come in. Eventually, they're all beaten. Everybody clears out around 4 a.m. However, there's more riots the following night. There's more upheaval. There are activists in the streets. And eventually this uprising from this night leads to the first gay pride parades, the first gay rights movement, eventually the LGBTQ plus movement in America. All comes from what could have been just a routine raid, something that happened 100 times before, honestly, but that it just went sideways. So the question is, like, why on this particular night at the Stonewall Inn? Because obviously I'm talking about the Stonewall Inn. You guys all knew I'm talking about Stonewall. That's famous. So why did everything go sideways on this night, right? So one of the reasons, it's 1:30 in the morning. Everybody's drunk. Everybody's a little bit more under the influence, which never helps, especially when you have been constantly assaulted by the police. You're not going to be polite once you've had a few. But also, as every bartender knows, these guys are sad drunks on this night. Why? The whole clientele, they're really, really bummed out about something. Earlier in the day, June 27th, 1969, there had been a funeral on the Upper East Side of New York that certainly most of the clientele here had been to. Something like 20,000 people had gone to this funeral on the Upper East Side to see the body of this woman up on the Upper East Side, where she was lying in state or lying in repose. And then gone out to the bar and drank their blues away somewhat. And then at 1:30, the cops show up and start messing with them. Any bartender with their salt knows, don't mess with this clientele when it's that kind of day. My question to you is, who died on June 20, or not died on June 27th? Whose funeral was on June 27th, 1969 that would have led this clientele to being in quite a bad mood? 45 seconds on the clock, starting now. Whose funeral? On the day of Stonewall Inn. Stonewall Inn riots. Gotta start the rap. Rat started. Thank you, Doug. Rat started. Is it a new round? I guess it doesn't matter. 23 seconds. Whose funeral? The Stonewall Inn. Many people have said this funeral triggered the riots, but the police, the NYPD in 2019 said they triggered the riots. They've officially taken credit for it. So don't blame this person. 2-1, show them. Who knows this odd bit of trivia? Yep. Many people do. 2 people do. Yes, it was indeed Miss Judy Garland. Miss Judy Garland's funeral was that day. Made the folks... There it is. Made folks pretty upset. Judy Garland. So who got it? Doug and... only the Trivia Rat people got it, right? Doug and Larry. So, Doug. 30. You're at 30 and a half. Anyone beating 30 and a half? I don't think so. Judy Garland. Judy Garland got you the win, Doug. And in second place, Larry Labia. A real... a separating story tonight. Who knew? But, fun fact, don't... say it's because of Judy Garland. It's not. It's because the NYPD was targeting homosexuals in 1969 New York. But fun coincidence, Judy Garland's funeral that day. So there we are. Doug Larlam, congratulations. Big winner. Everyone's a winner on our 80th Trivia Ronin. I was going to wait till our 100th to do anything, but I guess that's only beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop, boop, 3 months away. Less, 2 months, 1 month. Sure. Winner gets a car at the 100th. Come on back. So, without further ado... Yeah, right? 3 a week? Yeah, Oh, yeah. Easy. Seth Round, thank you so much. I'm going to do our little take us away. So that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you so much for your support as we try to grow this experience. Thank you for coming to the 80th show. Thank you for being one of our 1,000 Instagram followers, 1,003, maybe more by now. It's totally in the script to say that. Doesn't make it any less true. For all of us at Trivia Ronin, my name is Matt McNally saying, don't be shitty, and we hope you learned something tonight. Bye-bye.